The UFC is back May 9th, Jacksonville, Florida for UFC 249. This is the Parlay giveaway, and I am your host, Joe Cortez. Before we get into that, subscribe and hit the notification bell to this YouTube channel and go to our Instagram and Twitter page to follow us at Parlay Giveaway for bet predictions and cash giveaway contest. All right. I'm looking to give away at least $100 to one of my followers. I know it's not much. It's a little bit. Hopefully it'll help during these crazy and weird times where everybody's losing their job, 30 million unemployed. Coronavirus has locked down everybody. I'm looking to give away $100 to one of my followers, win or lose this bet. All right. So make sure you follow us on either YouTube, Instagram, and or Twitter. All right. Let's jump right into it. Okay. The UFC is back again, May 9th. Hopefully it happens. I know some people aren't happy about it, saying you have to be locked down in your house forever. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay. Hate me for it. I don't care. Especially how I see the hysterical people acting. See, I work in the profession where no matter what's happening around you, you have to remain calm, remain cool, be collected to be able to make your best decision possible. Best, especially tactical decision possible. I'm not going to say exactly what I do for a living, but you can probably guess after that sentence. All right. So it's amazing to me that people who all they have to do is stay inside for a little bit, right? And that's all they have to do, are freaking out about other people going outside, right? It's amazing. It amazes me, right? So Luke Thomas, just a mental breakdown over this whole coronavirus lockdown and the UFC trying to put on fights. And he's just, I don't know. Listen, I'm not a big fan, right? I don't know how he has a platform. I think Brendan Schaub from The Fighter and the Kid and Below the Belt, I think he really gave him a bump as far as giving him a platform and his having his opinion kind of matter in the MMA world. But total mental breakdown over this whole thing. I understand why there's lockdowns, but I understand why people want to go to work, right? You have the bills to pay. You have family to feed, right? And then you get there's going to be no family if they're all dead. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. This is like, it goes from one extreme to the other. There's no middle ground, really. There's people that can't go to work and still be okay, right? But anyway, I'm happy that the UFC is putting on this card. I understand why you may not be, all right? So don't hate me for it. The fighters aren't being forced to fight. This isn't gladiator times, right? They're not being forced to fight. They're being offered fights, and the majority of them are happy to take it, right? There's a few fighters that are like, fuck that, I'm not. Like Stipe, he's a firefighter. He's working, right, during this pandemic. He's a first responder, so we have to work. Aljamain Sterling, understandable. Long Island, New York based. I'm from New York. I live in New York. I work in New York. It's fucked up over here, right? Everything is shut down. It's going to be shut down for a little bit longer than the rest of the country. So his gym's not open. He really can't have a good training camp, right? As opposed to Justin Gaethje, who has 10 people in the gym that he can fight and roll with, right? Out in Denver, Colorado. Very different story. So he doesn't want to fight because he can't prepare properly for it. And I get that too. But for the majority, the fighters want to fight. They want to get out there. They want to make their money. They want to be able to support their family. All right. There's a reason why I started this podcast in particular. I'm not going to only do UFC betting. I'm going to do other bets as well. But there's a reason why predominantly I'm doing UFC parlay bets. It's because there's no season. There's no season. There's no on-season, off-season. There's no off-season for fighting for the UFC. There could be, but Dana White didn't make it that way. Set the tone for the industry, right? There's no season. You can have a fight whenever. It's like boxing. You can have a fight whenever, right? And the more fights, the more betting that we have on. There's a reason why, right? Dana White is a madman, and I respect that. So I'm happy that May 9th, UFC 249 is going to go down. And, of course, Florida, right? I cannot wait to retire so I can move the fuck out of New York and go to another state where, like Florida. And I know people are going to destroy me for that too, or Texas. I'm thinking about Texas too. Maybe Arizona. I don't know. But definitely leaving New York. UFC is back, and that's all I care about, right? Let's make some bets. Let's make some money. I hope I can give some money away to you guys. All right. My 3-bet parlay for the parlay giveaway, UFC 249. It's going to be Justin Gaethje, Rozenstruik, and Waterson. All right. Rozenstruik is my underdog pick of the whole card. All right. Don't sleep on that guy. I know he's fighting Francis. Don't sleep on don't sleep on Rozenstruik. He's a monster. Gaethje. Now let me just talk about this fight real quick. I'm gonna do a separate video for Rozenstruik, right? I want to talk about Justin Gaethje and Tony Ferguson, right? This is betting, right? There's a chance. When I make a bet, I'm not saying for sure Justin Gaethje is going to win, right? I'm looking at the odds. What is the shot? Is it worth it? There's some risk for the reward, right? That's what I do. That's what I'm doing when it comes to these bets, right? Justin Gaethje, I think, putting up a plus 155, it's a good reward for especially for a parlay, right? So Justin Gaethje going up against Tony Ferguson, there's nobody like Justin Gaethje. We can all agree what he did to Edson Barboza. What? He walked him down, he leg kicked him, and then he knocked him the fuck out in the first round. I know, I was there, octagon side. I was looking up at the shit. I was right there. Okay. Oh, and by the way, as this goes on, not only am I going to be giving away cash prizes, I'm going to working out a deal where I can get UFC tickets and give away UFC tickets as well. All right, that's why I tagged the location of the fights, Jacksonville, Florida. I tagged that location, even though there's no fans allowed. But when fans start to be allowed into the arena, I'm going to be giving away tickets as well. Anyway, so Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje. People, when I talk about it with my friends, they think I'm an asshole. Like Tony Ferguson is not human, and I know he acts like he's not human, like he's some sort of robot, like a crazy person. But I think Justin Gaethje has a shot. I think Justin Gaethje can walk him down. He has a wrestling defense, fucking all-American wrestler, and he has fucking power. And Tony Ferguson likes to trade, so if Justin Gaethje fights a little bit smarter than he has, and he has been, but in his fights where against Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier, I think he'll do just fine against Tony Ferguson and might pull it off. Might knock him out or might get the decision. Justin Gaethje's a madman. He'll walk him down and he'll fucking strike. Tony Ferguson is also a madman. This is going to be an insane fight. I like Justin Gaethje. But if he doesn't win, I won't be surprised. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't believe it. You know, when I make these picks, it's risk reward, right? Rozenstruik, I think he can get it done against Francis. I'm going to get into that in a different video. That's my underdog pick of the fight. I might throw on some straight money on Rozenstruik. That's a different case. Michelle Waterson versus Carla Esparza. I actually can't believe that Michelle Waterson is an underdog in this fight. Carla Esparza, of course, very good grappler, very good, fighter overall. But I think Michelle Waterson has been around the block a couple of times in the octagon, just like Carla, and I think it's closer than what the odds have it to be. Michelle Waterson's a plus 130. I'm looking down at my notes. Michelle Waterson is a plus 130 underdog. Carla Esparza is a minus 160. I just think Michelle Waterson could pull it off. I think she'll get the decision, right? Or pull off some fucking jiu-jitsu and maybe take her back, because Carla Esparza is gonna want to wrestle. And while Carla Esparza is a really good wrestler, Michelle Waterson has some jiu-jitsu, and maybe she can do some transitions down on the ground when it comes to the grappling part. But I think Michelle Waterson can pull it off. I think she can hold off for wrestling, keep her at distance. I think she's bigger. Justin Gaethje. So if Gaethje, Rozenstruik, and Waterson win, I'm giving away $1,000 to one of my followers. All right, $1,000 to one of my followers if those three win. I think it's very possible that those three can win their fights. It's not out of the norm, right? People called me crazy when Nick Diaz, Conor McGregor fought their first fight. I put like $500 on Nick Diaz to win straight up. He's the taller fighter. He was the longer fighter, and if it went to the ground, I thought he was gonna just outclass McGregor, and that's exactly what happened. right? So won some money on that. All right, this is the fight game, especially during these weird times. Who knows what kind of shape people are in, where their mental space is like. You know, are they mentally prepared for these fights? Who knows? All right. So Gaethje, Rozenstruik, WATERSON for $1,000, giving it away to one of my fans, followers, whatever you want to call them. I feel weird calling you guys fans because there's only like 12 of you. So followers. All right. And also on top of that, the coronavirus giveaway. All right. I'm going to give $100 to one of my followers, win or lose. I'm going to pick somebody who follows me on Instagram, $100. Hopefully you have Cash App so I can give it to you on Cash App. But if not, I can figure out a way to give it to you. Maybe you have a Bitcoin wallet and I can give you $100 worth of Bitcoin. All right. But that's it, man. This UFC 249 card, it is stacked. I mean, you got Anthony Pettis, Donald Cerrone, right? Uriah Hall, Jacare, right? Vincent Luque, and Nico Price. My God, it's a stacked card. I'm probably going to have 2 or 3 more bets. I might post a Rozenstruik bet and then have 2 or 3 more parlay bets. Just to hedge my bets a little bit, right? You got Henry Cejudo and Dominic Cruz. And you know what? Dan from Denver slid into the DMs on Instagram and we had a little talk about this fight. And he, you know, I'm heavily favorite on Henry Cejudo. But he's a minus 235 and it's not worth my money to make that bet. But Dan from Denver had some good points about Dominic Cruz winning. You know, my point is Henry Cejudo's listen, obviously I'm a wrestler. I wrestled in college. I'm always gonna pick the wrestler. I don't know why, maybe that's in me, but especially the freestyle gold medalist, Olympic gold medalist in freestyle wrestling, right? Who has been hurting motherfuckers with his hands. I'm gonna pick that guy, which is Henry Cejudo. But he, you know, the Dan from Denver made some good points about Dominic Cruz and, you know, why he should win. So maybe I do a straight up bet. And you know what, Dan? If I do this straight up bet with Dominic Cruz, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to look at it, all right? If I do this straight up bet, Dan, with Dominic Cruz, you convinced me, so I'll give you half of my winnings, all right, brother? And that's it. That's it, man. This is going to be a stat card. Stay tuned for the underdog pick, which is Rozenstruik. I'm going to break down that fight. And, you know, look out on Instagram for other parlay bets for UFC 249 and the fights that are coming afterwards, right? Like 4 days later and then 3 days later, the 13th and the 16th, man. There's going to be a lot of fighting going on. Thank God, right? Just there's only so much little Dicky I can watch. Dave on FX, right? Or Devs. That was a badass show. All right. That's it. I'm Joe Cortez. I'm fucking locked down. I don't even know how to say my name anymore. I'm Joe Cortez. It's the Parlay giveaway. I'm out. Peace.